In recent years, home loudspeaker manufacturers have been getting a little bolder in their designs. However, the faceless and banal speakers that have flooded the market, invented by the industry to fit into any interior, have ceased to please real music lovers. Music lovers need character. And this often applies not only to sound, but also to appearance. The design of vintage equipment is brightness, boldness, and moderate pretentiousness. The appearance of old speakers is almost always correlated with their sound. That's why many music lovers prefer vintage. Finding the right sound when it comes to modern speakers is sometimes very difficult. Most loudspeakers of our days are built both externally and internally almost identical. You can spend years blindly searching for the right system without ever finding it. However, if you prefer vintage, you should realize that speakers, like any other audio equipment, are not spared by time. If the cabinet is more or less preserved, the drivers are more likely to fall into disrepair. They become stiffer, shrivel up, rubber suspensions fall apart, and holes can form in the membranes. And there can be problems with the wiring, too. In our list of the most interesting vintage speakers today, the models are arranged from old to new. Remember that prices can vary depending on condition and many other factors. Quad ESL 57. The cost is about $2,500 for the pair. Some people consider this 1957 speaker to be the best in the world. And they said so in the year it was introduced to the market, and they still say so. These electrostats are loved for their flawless reproduction of the high-frequency range. BBC LS3 5A. The cost is about $2,000 per pair. The BBC LS3 5A are classic rack-mounted shelf speakers native to 1972, designed and manufactured by BBC for their own use. It's worth saying that the modern version from Falcon Acoustics completely copies the original in the smallest detail. It is said that even the BBC engineers can't tell the difference. Spender BC1. About $800 for the pair. All lovers of interesting sound with character should definitely pay attention to these speakers, released in 1976. The speakers produce a warm yet focused sound. Classically, Spender BC1 are equipped with Bechstein drivers in the mid-range and Celestion tweeters. It is recommended to install these speakers on stands. KEF R105. About $1,000 for the pair. This 1977 three-way model also uses Bechstein drivers. Although its sound is somewhat neutral and slow in comparison to modern speakers, it produces a large and rich sound in the upper range. Yamaha NS1000. About $1,800 per pair. Yamaha NS1000 is equipped with mid-range drivers and tweeters with beryllium domes, created according to the proprietary technology of the Japanese corporation. Powerful 12-inch bass drivers work with them, because of which even the residents of the neighboring house can go deaf. The minus of these mighty Japanese is that it is difficult to pick up an amplifier for them. It is better to choose a model from Yamaha itself of the same years and the same class, but be ready for revision of circuits and elements. Mission 770. About $400 a pair. Back in 1980, these speakers seemed like breakthroughs because of their polypropylene drivers. In a modern context, however, the sound of this stylish and inexpensive speaker can be characterized as clean, soft, and warm, with no pronounced highs or lows. Good balanced sound at an adequate price. Haybrook HB1. The cost is about $200 per pair. Let you not be surprised by such a modest cost of this model. For this money, HB1 offer a very high quality sound. The explanation is simple. Haybrook HB1 was designed by the talented and respected engineer Peter Comeau, who later moved to Wharfedale. Tannoy Westminster. The price depends on the country and condition. As a rule, for a pair of Westminster they ask from $15,000. This premium expensive loudspeaker with a large horn made our list as an example of the vintage high-end. The massive Westminster not only requires a lot of money, but also a lot of space. Such speakers are worth picking up for large rooms. The main feature of the model is Tannoy's signature soundstage, which creates the feeling of an almost live performance when you can reach the musicians with your hand. That concludes our selection of interesting stylish speakers of the past. If you know more options of good and stylish vintage systems, suggest them in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching and for your support.